Hey guys, welcome back to We Watch Movie. I'm Mike,
I'm Jay.
and Freddy fucking Krueger's back.
Oh, wow. Let's make dreams scary again.
It's serious this time, guys. I'm serious.
Yeah, well, the map says we're fucked.
All right, so as you guys remember, we were talking, I don't know, maybe a couple months ago, something like that, maybe not even that long ago, but that Wes Craven's estate took back the rights to Freddy Krueger to Nightmare on Elm Street and all that shit. We talked about, is that an awesome thing or is that a shitty ass thing? It could be either way, because if they're not going to do anything with it, if they don't have any plans to let anybody else touch it, then it could stay locked away forever, and that could mean that we never got any Nightmare on Elm Streets or Freddy movies again. But if they wanted to do something with it, then it could be fucking amazing. And because we don't have to wait on Warner Brothers to get done with their Conjuring 19 fucking spinoff, Ghost Toad or some shit to actually
I
give
would
a
watch
fuck
this.
about Freddy. But yeah, so the news is today, Bloody Disgusting reported that the Craven estate is now taking pitches for both an Elm Street film and or an Elm Street HBO Max subscription service series.
Mhm.
So that means it's fucking happening. We're definitely getting Freddy back. It's a first sure thing now. They're planning to do it. It's going to happen. They own the domestic rights. Warner Brothers owns the international rights, which means they can either work with Warner Brothers or it could get kind of hairy there. But yeah, it's like 99% sure we're getting a Freddy movie or show.
They get that Pepe Le Pew fucking Freddy Krueger in France.
Yeah. But
I think it's like they haven't announced it. Like it's such in the early stages though, so I guess there's no word on any kind of possibility of an actor being chosen for the part of Freddy Krueger at all, or any names floating around at all.
no, just the guarantee that we're actually going to have Freddy again, because that was in doubt up till today.
I think it's going to be really dependent on, first off, the casting choice has got to be top fucking notch, and then they got to get a really good writing team and obviously a good director that believes in the project. Like it's like Robert Englund was saying about the remake of Freddy Krueger, that the concept was good, but the timing was bad. And also, you can't get a Freddy Krueger that you're going to sympathize with either. They got to make him brutal, dark, and just fucking turd nasty all the way through it.
Yeah, well, what would you rather have? Would you rather have an HBO series or a movie?
I'd probably take the movie, dude, just because on the HBO series, it sounds fun, but I mean, it kind of goes back to Freddy's Nightmares. Like, I don't want, like, it would be cool. The idea would be cool, I guess, but I want to see an actual full feature-length film bringing Freddy Krueger back to the cinematic horror thing that he started as. Like, I don't know. Like, if you have a HBO series, while it's fun and cool and whatever, I feel like you could dip really close to the Freddy's Nightmares again, even though it would be a little, like, edgier. I'd just rather have the full feature-length film.
Yeah, well, there's two things that about that too. Is that number one, I think they're already in the right headspace. When we talk about it needs to be dark and whatever, they're not talking about, oh, this could be on fucking CBS or some dumb shit like that, some Black Christmas PG-13 bullshit. They're wanting to go to the article specifically mentioned HBO Max, which is the HBO's subscription service or whatever. But that tells me one thing. Yeah, for sure. I think they're looking at quality A, because HBO has the most money that can put into that shit. And B, they're going to be able to do whatever the fuck they want to on HBO. That being said, I actually agree with one of our commenters when I posted this on Instagram a couple hours ago, said that the thing about it is if Freddy goes to TV, while that could be cool and everything, it's going to be really hard to pull him out of that and put him back on the big screen again. Like once you go TV, you don't go back in most cases.
Yeah, unless it's Real Sex, Volume 15. It's gonna
So
be great. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I agree with that commentator, like the comment too. Like, I mean, yeah, it would be, I don't know, it would be like watering him down a little bit more. He's already been watered down enough. I just want him to be like fucking vicious and back on screen. I don't know. Like, just give me like a great fucking director. Give me some horror that's not fucking Rob Zombie and titty fucking and rape in an alleyway, and just some good stuff. Like, I don't know, like. I would love for Blumhouse to do it, but Blumhouse is popular on everybody's tongue nowadays. But it would be, I always say that A24 Studios. I love to see them try it.
Yeah, I'd like to see them do it as well, but I don't, it's just, I get a feeling that it's going to be higher budget than that. I would love to see A24 do it too. I honestly don't, if Blumhouse gets it, and that's cool or whatever, but I'd honestly like to see another company have it. Like, they already have Michael, they're focused on Halloween. It seems like
Yeah, can
Blumhouse
somebody
always,
else get some food in their damn mouth?
yeah, seems like Blumhouse always gets brought up with all these people. And I would like to see something different from somebody else. I wouldn't be upset at all if it went to Blumhouse. But yeah, that's my whole thing, man. Is if it goes to TV though, it's you're talking about like 10, 13 episodes, maybe multiple seasons versus, you get one or two films every couple years, if it goes well, which I'm sure it will.
And I just
Uh,
feel like they're retreading water, dude. Like they've already done it before. Like Freddy's Nightmares already happened. Like they've tried it. I mean, I
yeah,
know
but
it's not. It's a different kind of idea with it being on HBO and making it darker, but it's still. It's a different fucking paint a can. Like it's a different color.
well, that's the
You know
thing
what I
though.
mean?
TV back then was Freddy's Nightmares. TV today is fucking Game of Thrones. You know what I mean? So I mean, it's a big
Yeah.
difference in times. And plus, they didn't put any money behind that. They didn't give a shit about that. They were squeezing the last dollar out of that. If they took this seriously and made a really good 10 seat with arcs and you could start from Freddy in the courtroom in the beginning, you could tell the entire story.
But see, the problem is if they do that, but the only issue I have with them though is are they going to go back with jokey Fred, or they want to make him more of a fucking serious threat again, like and not speaking like the very first Freddy Krueger, and maybe even kind of the second one when he got a little bit more comical, but he was still dark and he was still like threatening and intimidating. Like I feel like they would go with episode 1, he might start that way, but by episode 13, he'd be back to like prime time, bitch, and that's fun. But it's not gonna get Freddy back on the high horse of being horror icon #1.
What would be crazy though is if they did do that, if he did end up being funny again or whatever, but not until like season fucking 4. Like what if like season 1, 2, 3 are scary as fuck, or they go super serious, and then as they like to start to lose viewers, or they need him to be more creative, because I think that might be it. Like you can only be scary for so long. At some point you got to start to get creative with him, and then I think that's where some of the comedy came in the later iterations of his character. But what if they did that? What if there ended up being like, I don't know, like 11 seasons or 8 seasons or some shit, and by the end of it, it's just dumb as fuck.
Then I would say I gotta buy this motherfucker on box set for $400, and that sucks.
but I mean, you get that shit over like an 8-10 year span or whatever it is. Think about how much more Freddy you get that way if that show takes off than if a movie takes off. Now, personally, I'm more of a movie guy. Like, I'd personally rather have it be in the theater. And again, I hate the thought of Freddy going to TV and then never being on the big screen again. So I do go movie, but I also can't help but wonder if the show's great. Imagine doing recaps of each episode. How fun it would be to look forward to that every week. It's kind of hard, man, when you really think about it. But I still do want. I'd rather have a movie.
I just want to see a movie, and I really want them to because the last one, the remake, left such a bad taste in a lot of fans' mouth. Like I feel like they need to redeem themselves on the big screen before they can move forward with any other project. Because really, what you're doing then is you're just saying I give up. Like you're basically saying Freddy Krueger can't make it on the film or on the big screen anymore without someone as great. And it sucks that he's gone, but without Wes Craven being around, there's no point in putting him on the silver screen. So let's fucking denominate him to minor leagues again. Like yeah. I just you know what I mean? He's a major league fucking character, and like with the resurgence of Halloween doing so well on the big screen with Blumhouse and everybody putting a lot of love and passion behind that project, I think that they have a real opportunity and a shot here to make Freddy Krueger a big part of the conversation once again, instead of just kind of a hokey joke and a primetime special what's up bitch kind of guy. Like I don't know.
Yeah, and you need the movie to do well. I don't think there's any question the movie would do well. I mean, look at what Halloween did and whatever.
John's gonna wonder how far they're gonna go with it, though. Are they gonna really push on the pedo fact or the pedo fact of what he is? Like, are they gonna try to make him like where you're not gonna have sympathy for this like nasty fucking human being? I want the angle.
I don't think it's that hard to make Freddy scary, man. Even in the remake, even though it was bad, he had moments. He had some moments, even with the bad squirrel face CGI and all that shit. I think Freddy's the easiest one of all of them to actually make scary again without having to go too hardcore, because he does have such a gnarly past, like you said, with the pedo stuff and all that stuff like that. But I want it to be where I have to buy a coffee pot in my fucking room and be scared to go to sleep. Like I want to be fucking terrified to go to bed at night. And yeah. I'm not just talking about wet dreams of possibilities. I'm talking about because I'm gonna get scared that Freddy Krueger's gonna be in my dreams. Can you imagine in 1984 how many people got fucking scared when they went and seen that movie and they're like, holy shit, this guy can kill you in your nightmares. And then he's got to fucking you.
Yeah, and then he's gonna fucking nut tap your corpse or some shit. Like, it's like that's scary. Like I just the concept of Freddy Krueger was extremely terrifying. And then of course it's not their fault, but he became like a pop culture icon, and then he just kind of lost he just became another joke, another MTV kind of guy. But I mean, nonetheless, I feel like Freddy deserves to be on the big screen, and a real effort be put behind the movie to make him as scary as he possibly can. And I'm talking about going right on the border of fucking like X-rated R. Like make it like nasty gross, like not like, you know, you can like water down I don't want to see like a bunch of nasty stuff with kids or whatever, but just like, you know, I'm talking about gore effects, and also bring back practical effects for his fucking makeup too. No more CG shit. I
No,
think that's
God,
really
no.
what took you out of the fucking remake. One of the first things anyway.
I think that's extremely important that they do that. I really hope that they go that way. And what about this? What if they go, because that's all the rage now. Look at the news that just came out about RoboCop. What if they go back and they just erase canon and they go right to they make Nightmare 2 again? I think that would it would probably match the family and what the estate would want, because that was, you know, that was Wes Craven's thing. You know what I mean? Was the first movie. That was what he was all about. Of course, he wrote a version of 3 that whatever happened with that happened, and then 7. But really, if they picked it up from the first movie and made a sequel to his original film, it would fit in with the climate of Hollywood today. But it would piss me off, man, because I love some of those movies so much.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
It works with Halloween though, you know.
I think they've got a clean slate to go, because really, if you look at it, Wes Craven's New Nightmare was supposed to be the end of the Robert Englund era anyway, and then they did the remake. So I mean, they have pretty much a fresh slate to go off of.
Actually, for that reason, I don't think they'll do it, man. Because I don't think they'll do it actually. Because if they did cut out canon and take up from part 1 and make a sequel starting from part 1, then they would be erasing one of Wes Craven's films in 7. So that actually makes no sense. I don't think they'll do that now.
Well, the only thing about the Wes Craven's New Nightmare though is Wes Craven's New Nightmare was supposed to take place in the film universe, but really outside the film universe. So therefore, it necessarily wasn't a part of canon.
And I think that's way too confusing to ask today's audience to pick up from there and understand what was going on. It's been too long. It would fuck with too many people.
So, but if they just called it a Nightmare on Elm Street, and then I don't know if they should actually remake the fucking movie. That might be the option that they're left with. They have to maybe just remake the movie, start from the very bottom, and go up.
Now we hear.
Yeah, and then Kanye West is going to do the fucking album. Get it all in there.
That's another option as well. I know people would hate it, but
Kanye?
another option. No,
you know he is God.
Another option would be to make a sequel to the remake. But
yeah,
I
don't know.
To see Nightmare 2 get a remake. That movie was fucking badass, and it never gets
underrated as shit. Yeah,
and
really
with today's social climate, with everybody loving to do the crazy stuff, man, it would fit right in. You know what I'm saying? With how crazy and wild that movie was.
What do you mean with Jesse?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it, but that movie was so unique and different when it came out, because it wasn't in such a social turmoil time or tumultuous time that we are in now, that nobody like really blinked an eye at it. They were like, yeah, that's whatever. I mean, it was just a great movie. But if you drop it now, I don't know, man. Like I think it would just depend on how they presented it. You know, like
it would
they presented
too
it.
Much.
Yeah, like it would get too much of a media firestorm around it before, and then nobody could enjoy it. Like it wouldn't just be a movie that people could watch.
Yeah, we get lucky enough that they would remake 2 anyway. I just want that movie to get some fucking love because it was so good. And then the whole casting with Freddy's a whole nother. It's
got the greatest dance sequence in movies.
And Freddy was mean as fuck in that movie too, dude.
I know, and he looked good. That witch face that they redesigned his makeup on looked good.
Yeah, he was scary in that fucking movie, dude. And then so you go on to the casting thing. You know, Robert Englund said he would do it one more time. It would be weird. This is kind of out there, but what if they make one movie? Like they make one movie, they make one more movie, they do it with Robert, and then they go to the TV show, and that's how they reboot it. They start from an origin point. Maybe you get a movie and a series. I don't know.
I gotta be honest, man. I think you gotta move on. You gotta move past Robert Englund. If you're gonna bring it back to the big screen, you gotta leave him alone. I mean, because no one's ever gonna give a chance for a new star to rise up on the big screen if you do that. Even if you put him on TV, like if Robert Englund wanted to come back and be Freddy Krueger again, that's awesome. I mean, I'd fucking be happy. Then you could put an HBO series and start, whatever with Robert Englund. Basically, it's Freddy's Nightmares, but if they give him the budget like a Game of Thrones on HBO, I'm down with that. That's okay.
That's not what I'm saying, though. What I'm saying is they could do one movie with Robert Englund and then have the TV show be separate and start from the very, very beginning. Like
I know, but that's what I'm saying, though. I think that would reinforce the idea there never will be a cinema star of Freddy Krueger unless it's Robert Englund.
It could.
Because Jackie R. Haley got blasted. I mean, and even though he's actually a pretty good actor, he's a good actor. He got really blasted because he's no Robert Englund. It's like because Robert Englund had already done like fucking 8 movies and all the other things, and like if you put Robert Englund back on screen again, even though he's obviously the only real Freddy Krueger because he's the only one besides Jackie Earl, that people are just gonna be like, well, then that's it. That's the legacy of Freddy Krueger. It's always going to be Robert Englund. And then if you put another guy in his place and put him on screen again in a sequel or something, or even a TV series, like that's obviously not really Freddy Krueger.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I
mean,
mean?
it's hard to say, and plus, like I said before, dude, if you go with the TV show and the TV show's successful, look at El Camino. Like they made an El Camino movie or the Simpsons movie or any of these movies. They don't feel right as feature films once you've seen them as a TV show. You know what I mean? It just feels strange. It feels like you're watching an extended episode of the TV show, and you wonder to yourself, why couldn't I just watch this as a part of the show? It's strange and it feels weird, and I don't think those movies would ever be successful again if the show's successful first. So I'm with you. I want a movie first, and I'd like to see an unknown cast as Jason, or you can go back to our dream casting Freddy Krueger video for all their other options. But yeah, I'm with you, man. All right, you got to get back to work, don't you?
I've got to goes.
All right. Well, guys, this is today's news. Let us know down below what you think. Would you want a TV show? Would you want a movie? Who do you want to see play Freddy? All that good shit. And remember, we also did a video not too long ago about who we'd like to see. I'll put the link to that down below. We love your fucking faces, and today's a good goddamn day.
Thank you. Bye-bye. We loves.
Bye.
Bye.
I can't stop the... Where's the...
Tina!
Tina!
We watched a movie. Yeah. We watched a movie. We watched it. We watched a movie. Yeah. You know what? We did